ceremonies for this evening, our senior class president, Danielle Strozza.
Became more responsible through jobs and service to others, and built lasting friendships through classes, sports, clubs, and events. We became a family, the class of 2013. Through our time at Spanish Springs, we built a foundation that we take with us into our lives ahead. Yet, there is some sadness at the things we leave behind. Never again will we experience the Cougar spirit of seeing our first high school football, basketball, or baseball game. The feeling of pride when Spanish Springs won state or regional championships. The excitement of our first prom and seeing your sibling sign. Or the exhilaration of discovering Cougarlicious. Many changes occurred during these last 4 years. Like us, our smartphones got a whole lot smarter. We mourned the loss of teal in our school colors. We got our licenses and maybe even our own cars. And we discovered new passions and forged new relationships. And we experienced countless breakups and makeups, not to mention makeouts. We shared all these things together and bonded along the way, creating relationships that will last long after high school is over. Spanish Springs has given us all the things we need to begin our future, and now that future begins. So let's celebrate, all of us together, in the same building, one final time. Let's prove to the world that 13 is a very lucky number. Congratulations, class of 2013. It gives me great pleasure to introduce this year's valedictorian. I couldn't think of a more deserving student. Let's hear it from my friend and the valedictorian for the class of 2013, Robert Wagner.
I'd like to give a shout out to my parents, my peers, and my teachers. It's been a great 4 years, and I'd just like to say thank you very much to everyone. So, this speech, well, I'll start off with a story. So I was talking to a teacher, and he said that he was very proud of me and my accomplishments throughout high school. And that got me thinking a little. I usually don't associate accomplishment with the day-to-day 8 to 2:30 school. So it sort of confused me. I didn't know what to make of the word accomplishment, so I decided to Google it. Accomplishment, courtesy of dictionary.com, means an act or instance of carrying into effect fulfillment. Now that got me thinking, what have we fulfilled? Has it always been our grand destiny to walk this walk and receive this diploma? Is that what we have fulfilled, or is there something else? So is this graduation ceremony our fulfillment and our accomplishment? Thinking about it a bit more, I've decided that the best accomplishment we can have is the fulfillment of ourselves, living up to the measure of our talents and capabilities, being the best that we can be. With this in mind, this ceremony is anything but an accomplishment. The past 4 years are a different story. I call this speech the journey on more of a whim than a thought process, but I think it makes sense. That diploma you guys are about to receive isn't going to change your lives in the least. The high school experience already has. You can bet that you will be the same person you were 5 minutes ago, but far from who you were 4 years ago. The clubs that you've joined, the activities you've planned, the friends you've made, make you you, not that diploma. In other words, it's not so much where you are, but where you've been. The journey. Too many people focus on the end, striving from point to point to point, and too few focus on the space in between. It is my wish that we focus on the current situation laid out in front of us and how we can excel with what we have. Let our accomplishment be our lives and the way we've lived it. So here's to us, for what we've done, not the recognition we've received. Friends till the end. Congratulations, class of 2013.
13. A great group of kids with high hopes and wild dreams. It started way back in the year when they were 14, in the year of '09, when they were still pretty green. You see, as cute little freshmen, they were full of pride and spirit, still are. Ambitious for the future, even though they kind of feared it. Ready and willing to take on any task, as long as it wasn't homework or anything like that. They very quickly realized that high school was no game, and that ignoring responsibilities would only lead to shame. Even though ninth grade seemed to challenge their self-esteems, it didn't deter the goals of the class of 013. Sophomore year brought a mixed bag of emotions as the newness of high school became lost in the ocean of 2,400 teenagers, all with different objectives, often stirring drama and altering perspectives. But credence was not lost, for they also figured out that the politics of high school tends to fill hearts with doubt. They held themselves together, they made it through the rain, they honed in on survival skills to keep their world sane. 10th grade year, a turbulent time it seems, but it didn't impede the path of the class of 013. Then reality hit the hardest in the third and junior year, as duties and expectations became explicitly clear. Classes got much harder, and school became more serious. Teachers gave less slack, sometimes making them delirious. At times, the pressure seemed more than they could bear, but with the help of many people, they found a way to fare. Teachers, counselors, coaches, friends, and family too, all supported their journey to help them make it through. They proved they could do it. They didn't lose their steam, because nothing could interfere with the class of 013. I love you too. This fourth and final year has been a little crazy, with its own set of challenges and temptation to be lazy. You know who you are. Attendance at times seemed optional, tardies seemed to double, excuses got more creative, sometimes getting them in trouble. Proficiencies, AP exams, SATs, and the AccuPlacer too, those pesky high-stakes tests sometimes left them feeling blue. Thank goodness for the extracurricular events, clubs, and teams. These often kept their sanity when they all but wanted to scream. What has become so familiar is slowly starting to fade. The rules and the routines and all that hard work for passing grades. Infinite campus, bells, dress code, and prom soon will just be memories of a world that is now gone. But one thing never changed, and that is very clear. Their kindness and compassion were always held very dear. Their values have kept them grounded, tight bonds held them together. Whether good, bad, or indifferent, their experience has made them better. Friends till the end, that's what they'll always be, and we shall never forget our graduates of the class of 013. Silly poetry. You know it's kind of a fear of mine. Families, thank you so much for the gift of these wonderful young people. Graduates, just a few pieces of advice. Choose to remember all the good that came from high school and throw away the bad. Fill your memory banks with gains, not losses. Move forward with purpose. Invest only in that which makes you stronger. And try to tweet less and live more.
God bless.
I forgot, there's one more thing. Mr. Barry, we do have something for you.
Thank you, Ms. Bowers. Sophia Rose created this extraordinary music video to commemorate our senior